Alright, hey guys, welcome to my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette tutorial. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start out with my eyes, which is different from what I normally do, and then I'll go into the face later. I'll be using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. It is the Primer Potion in shade Original. Alright, so I'll be using some tape on the outsides of my eye just to give me a sharper line on my eyeshadow. A lot of people don't like this, but I think it's the best way for me to get a sharp edge on my eyeshadow. So I apply it to my hand so it gets some of that like grease and dirt that's just on your hands in general. And then I peel it off and then place it on my eyes. Alright, so I'll be using the brush that came with the palette. I'll be using the rounded, fluffy side for the first part. Eyes are watering a little bit just because I got the tape stuck down a little bit closer to my lash line than I had wanted. So I'll be going in with the first shade in the palette, which is Ounce, and I'll be applying that to my brow bone area. Alright, so now I'll be using the third shade in the palette, which is Sauce, and I'll be using the other end of the makeup brush that came with the palette, and I'll just be applying this into my crease and blending it up. Alright, so I'll be using a fluffy crease brush to add another color into my crease area. With this, I'll be using He Devil and just applying that to the same place that I had applied Sauce, and then blending it up and out as well. Alright, so using the same fluffy crease brush, I'll be using the shade in Fuego, and I'll be adding that into my crease as well, just to darken up the crease a little bit. Using a fluffy shader brush, I'll be using the shade in Fuego, and I'll be adding that to my outer and inner corners of my lid. So I'll be leaving the center part free of shadow. I just bought the NYX Professional Makeup Glitter Primer, and it's one of my favorite primers to use with any kind of metallic or foiled shadows. It really helps the shadows to stick and stay in place and be more vibrant. So I added this to the centers of my lid. Alright, so going in with Lombre, sorry, can't pronounce these names, it's a little bit difficult here. I'll be using a flat shader brush and then applying that to the center portions of my lid, creating a halo eye. Alright, taking a clean, fluffy brush, I'll be blending the edges of my eyeshadow just a little bit, just so they aren't super sharp like there was a piece of tape there. They're still going to be really sharp, but I just don't want them extremely sharp, like you're like, oh, hey, she had tape on her face. Alright, now taking my small fluffy brush again, I'll be going in with Enfuego, and I'll be adding that to the inner and outer corners of my lower lash line. Alright, using my same flat shader brush, I'll be going into Lombre again, and I'll be adding that into the center of my lower lash line. Using my finger, I'll be going in with Ounce again, and I'll be adding that into the inner corners of my eye just for a little pop of brightness. Alright, so using my Manuel black eyeliner in Wicked, I will be lining my waterline, my top and bottom. I like to do this because it defines my eyes just a little bit more. You don't have to add it into your waterline if it's uncomfortable. Alright, using my absolute favorite mascara, I'll be using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'll be applying that to my top and bottom lashes. Time for the brows. I'll be using my Sephora Mechanical Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Blonde. Okay, so moving on to the face, I'll be mixing my own foundation today, and I'll be using the True Match Lumi foundation in the shade C3. It's creamy natural, and then I'll be mixing in NYX Professional Makeup Total Control Drop Foundation in the shade Porcelain. I use a flat eyeshadow brush that I never use for anything else, just to mix that up to a better consistency so it's all together and it's one shade. And now I'll be using the Angel Veil Face Primer by NYX. Now I'll be using my Real Techniques foundation brush. I'll be using the small brush I use to blend it all together, just to apply it to my face and to get it off the brush so it doesn't get stuck and crusty. Nobody likes crusty brushes. So now I'll be using my NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt for my contour. I'll be using the bronzer and the highlight shade, not the highlighter. It's a really great palette to have. It goes with my skin tone really well. I just picked it up a couple weeks ago. Really excited that Walmart started selling NYX in my town. It's pretty great. So now I'm just contouring my cheeks and then my forehead just to add a little bit of dimension into my face. With the contour in your cheeks, you want to take an angle from the top of your ear down to the corner of your mouth, but don't take it all the way down to the corner of your mouth. Stop about halfway into your cheek. And then I'll be using my highlight, and I'll be doing my jawbone, and then I'll be doing the center of my forehead as well. Now I'm just adding in a little bit of blush. I can't even remember what this blush is called. I think my label is all worn off. But it's one of those mixed marbled kind of blushes. Just a little color to my cheeks. Alright, so now moving on to a highlight. I will be using the highlighter in this palette of the 3 Steps to Sculpt. I'll be adding it to my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and then my Cupid's bow. Now for lipstick, I'll be using the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Lolita. Alright, and then this is the final look. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!